Hello, welcome back. My name is Chris Miller, and in today's video tutorial, we're going to push the concept of WordPress plugins a little bit further using our example from the previous video of registering a custom post type called events. Now, in this video, we're going to begin adding some fields or advanced custom fields to our post type events so that way we can manage the data on the back end and display it on the front end. Now, you could do this in many different ways, and you could use the built-in meta fields for WordPress, but for this video, we're going to use ACF or advanced custom fields, which will create a dependency for this project. Now, in this video, that dependency will be installed as a plugin, but in a future video or an upcoming video, we're going to take that dependency and bake it right into our plugin so that if any other user were to enable the plugin, those fields or the dependency would be there and it would be supported. Now, this is going to be ad lib like some of the other previous videos, so mistakes will be made, so bear with me through this. And the plan here is that this is all going to be self-contained within this plugin. So we're going to use a hook so that way we can display the fields through the fields through the content hook. And that way on any other WordPress site that anyone else has out there, they can enable this plugin, they can get the fields, they can use the fields, and then that information will be displayed within their theme without having to do any theme edits, all right? So let's get started. We're gonna browse back over here. So this is our plugin where we had already registered the custom post type of events. And here's our backend here. Now we already have advanced custom fields installed, but if you do not have that installed, you wanna click on plugins, and then we can see again that we do have it installed, but you would wanna click on plugins, add a new. You would want to search for ACF. And I think that it's going to be, yeah, it's the third result here. So you want to make sure that you have that installed and activated. So we're going to go back to plugins. We do have ours activated. So go ahead and go to custom fields here on the left. And we're going to create a new, so this is one from a previous video. We're going to leave it there for now. We're going to click add new and we're going to say events. And we want to do a start date. Something I failed to mention is that we chose to use ACF because creating your own fields can be very time consuming. And oftentimes when you're working on projects, you have deadlines to meet. And you might be working on one or more projects. So ACF is a very powerful plugin to use that provides you with so many options and so many different fields out of the box with well-documented APIs. So yeah, back to start date. We're defining a new field called start date. Let's come on down to, yeah, the date picker. And day, month, year, that's fine. That's going to be our display format. And then a return format is going to be day, month, year as well. That's fine. We're going to leave those settings. We're going to close that field and we're going to scroll back to the top and let's duplicate the start date. And we're going to rename this to end date. I'm going to do a tab, delete, shift tab, tab again, and that's going to autofill our field name to match the field label. Little quick hack there. And we're going to leave all the same settings there as we did before. Now, if you're creating an events plugin, you can get crazy with all the different options and settings that you might want to have for yours. For this demo, we're going to leave it as start date and end date. So down here, we want to limit where these fields show up at, and we want to limit it to the events or event custom post type. So post type is equal to event. We're going to come on down here. We do want this to show up in our REST API, yes, because we might want to go headless with this at some point, or we might want to consume the event information through the API. We're going to leave the style for standard WP meta. We're going to keep the position normal after content. And we're going to keep all these basic settings up top here. We're going to skip past this and we're going to come right down here. We do want to hide the content editor. And before I save this, I'm going to come back over here to events just to show you what the content editor is. And it's this big WYSIWYG here. We're going to hide that. We don't want that for right now. We might bring that back later, but for now we'll hide it. So we're going to hide that and we'll leave everything else alone and hit publish. All right, so we'll come back over here to add a new event. And now we can see we have a title, start date, and end date. And we have our little date picker there. It's really cool. So we can say January 25th, 2022. And it looks like the format. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's what we said, day, month, year. I actually want to change that. I don't want that. So let's come back over here to start date. And let's do month, day, year instead. And we'll choose the return format to be month, day, year as well. We'll hit update. Refresh. And again, we'll say January 25th. And yeah, 1/25, 2022. And then we'll say to January of, so it's doing it again there. Okay, let's go back to our end date. We didn't do it there. And let's switch it. All right, update, refresh. All right, from the 25th to the 29th, we'll hit publish. And I didn't fill in my title. So we'll say demo event. Delete the slug there so it auto-populates with the demo event slug. And there we go. Okay. Now, if we go to view this on the front end and we click on view item up here, we're not going to see those fields. Actually, it doesn't look like we see the title either. And that's more than likely a theme issue where we didn't include the title yet. But we're going to focus right now on start date, end date. How do we get that in there if anyone else were to install this plugin? Well, we need to take a look at the content hook. So let's take a look at WP hook, the content. And we're going to click on the top result here from WordPress. And this is an apply filter, the content. And we're going to be adding some goodies there. So let's go ahead and grab their example straight from the documentation. And let's paste it right in here. I'm going to create some space here and isolate this block for us so we can just focus on this. And all right, so the filter we're using is the content. So anywhere in any theme where the content's being output, we have this opportunity to change or modify the output of the content. And it looks like that this is the name of the function. We're going to simplify this and say events data for now. So we'll say events data, match that to our function name. And we will want to pass the parameter or argument in of content. And we can go ahead and delete that for now. Now, what we're going to do at all times, even when we do some conditional condition checking, is that we still want to return our content even if nothing happens. If we don't return that content, it's going to cause some big issues for themes whenever people want to render their content. We're basically hijacking that at this point. So we're going to keep that. And let me think. Let's first try to test this by saying, what do we want to do? We're going to concatenate that and say test. All right. And what this would do is pre-pinned test to what would already be there in the content for wherever this would show up or render at. So let's go ahead and refresh. It didn't work. Okay. Now let's make sure that we've flushed our permalinks, because that is a common issue when defining new custom post types. Let's see if that fixes the issue. Ah, okay. Wait, we got the title now. Interesting. We didn't get the content. Let's see what's going on. Let's check our theme to make sure we're actually using the content in our theme from previous videos. So that's going to require opening up the theme folder, and we're going to go to the test site, app, public, WP content, themes, and then again, we've been using the 2021 theme in previous videos. We're going to expand that, go to our index file, and give me a second. Okay. All right. We've got the title and category and description. Okay. We didn't have the content in here. So let's go ahead and put the content. I've already got a little typo here. Okay. Wow, I can't type. I cannot type, can I? All right, save. Now let's refresh. Okay, there it is, test. To further prove this and sort of demonstrate what's going on, I'm going to go back to the back end and click on custom fields, edit our event fields, and we're going to come down here and uncheck hide content editor. Now, if we come back here and edit this item, we have our WYSIWYG back, and let's just say hello world, hit update. And now when we view the item, we should see hello world, but we didn't put the word test in the WYSIWYG. So again, just to further demonstrate what's going on here, test is being prepended to our content, and we're doing that through the content hook. Okay. So we can say, welcome to, and then we save and refresh. And again, there you go. All right. So that's not what we want to do though. What we want to do is we want to display our start date and our end date when those are available. So let's comment that out for now, and let's drop down and go ahead and write out our fields. We'll say start date, and we're going to say end date. Okay. Now we will want to, since we're returning that in the content, we will want to, we don't want to return it, or I'm sorry, we don't want to echo it, rather we want to return it, and the field's going to echo it. So instead we're going to use get field, and we're going to say start date. So we're going to store that in a variable, and we're going to say end date. Okay. Now what we can do is we can say content, and maybe we'll do start date, and let's concatenate. We want to add a space in there and concatenate again, and then we'll say end date. Okay, this is going to, or should, wipe out content and won't display it, but should display our start and end date, and it does. And it did wipe out our content. Now, if we comment that out and hit save and refresh, our content comes back. So we don't want to lose our content. We actually want to just complement that. So how can we do that? Well, this might get a little bit messy since this is ad lib. So let me think here. We could do something like this and refresh, but that's not very helpful. We'll want some tags. So what can we do? What can we do? I guess we could say span end date, and we'll go ahead and copy out our quote here and concatenate over here. Let's close out our span. Before we, okay, what am I doing wrong? Oh, I have the double quotes. All right, that fixes that. Okay, let's take a look at our DOM. Aha, nice. Okay, great. That worked out well. All right, let's do the same thing up here. Let's go ahead and paste it in and say start date, or concatenating again our value. And I'll just copy this here. And there you go. Hit save, refresh, start date and end date. Nice. Okay. And let me think here. Maybe. Go ahead and delete this. We'll clean that part up. You know, this could be better. And what I would like to see is maybe we take these two and wrap them in a div and have it sit outside of the paragraph. But that's going to take a little bit more time. And yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and wrap up for this video today. In the next video, we'll either explore how can we better improve this markup here, or we also might go ahead and take our ACF dependency, roll it into our plugin so that the dependency is baked right in, and whoever installs that plugin will reap the benefits of what it can do. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button below. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, throw it in the comment section below as well. And if you're on Twitter, come find me, Miller T. Chris, and come back for more videos.